In this video, we'll take a look at the Right to Light tool within the Ecotect environment. We'll take a look at extruding solar envelopment to check out the vertical sky component within the model, how to subdivide surfaces, and to check out existing and new envelopment. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the Right to Light tool within Ecotect. The Right to Light tool is really coming from a best practice to how to do urban site planning for daylight and sunlight. But it's kind of a best practice that we can apply and that we can use throughout the world. So what we are looking for in this design project here is that this new envelopment will have some kind of effect on this neighboring building here. And in the same time, we want to get some kind of insight to the heights we want to build these building in. So what we can do is we can go to calculate and we can calculate the right to light analysis. We can do it in step 1 by checking the solar envelopment and create a 27% vertical sky angle along a building facade, or a 70% of vertical sky angle for a site boundary. And the vertical sky component is also known as the vertical sky daylight factor. So really this is kind of looking at what is shading our building the most, what will shade the context the most, and to create some kind of baseline for that. So the first thing I'll do is that I'll go to zone management and I'll turn off the new building. Then I did a line along this building facade here. I go to calculate, and what I want to do now is create or check out the solar envelopment. So great, and because this is above and below starting point of 2 meters, because that's where we kind of are as people, and I'm just choosing along a building facade with a vertical sky angle of 27%. So okay, just hit OK, and now you see that it's extruding a plane. And if I go to visualize, it's a bit more visualized. So if I turn on my new building, I'll see that this part of the building here is inflicting in some small manner on this building here. So what we could do is we could go in and we could maybe take out a floor here and put it over here, etc. So get some kind of visual geometry that can help us shape the form of our building. So okay, now in the next step here, I'm just gonna turn off my new envelopment again, and I'm going to turn off this vertical sky angle here. So what I can do next is that I went into the 3D editor and I subdivided these facades here by going to modify, surface subdivision, rectangular tiles, just to have a bit more measuring points, because there is a measuring point in the middle of each of these surfaces here. So what I want to do now is I want to calculate the vertical sky component or vertical sky daylight factor for these facades here. So I go to calculate, I say right to light analysis, and I'm choosing step 2 here, calculate vertical sky components. And before I do that, I need to go here to the vertical sky component and say select objects on, calculate right to light analysis, calculate vertical sky components. Yes, and I'm just performing detailed shading calculation, used fast calculation method, and say okay, this is stage 1. I want to look at the existing conditions as a reference. Say okay, and just hit OK. And now it's calculating and also giving me a report with how exposed the different surfaces are and stuff like that. And what you'll see in this case here is that we pretty much have the correct amount of light that we want to have here. And if we go down to the display settings and go to the sky components, we're also able to look at the daylight factor and daylight levels. But if we look at the sky components here, you'll see that nothing really is below this cutting plane of 27%. So quite okay. Let's see what happens when we turn on the new envelopment here, and we want to look at what kind of impact does this new envelopment have on these facades here. Go back to 3D editor. These are marked up still. Go to calculate, right to light analysis, say okay, and just say use fast calculation method and say okay, proposed comparison, and I can check out that I'm generating a report like that. And now it's actually telling me for all the components in the model, and I'm able to click the component and actually find it and mark it out. And you'll see that only 2 objects here are below the angle of 27%, and therefore is failing this here. So I can go back to visualize, and I can from here go to the display settings, and I'm able to control to see before, after, and also if I want to see vectors and I could go to properties and I can analyze the data to look at the specific data and see the impact from before and after, and the difference between the before I put up my new building. Thank you.